right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are back to playing Symbaroum tonight. We're continuing our Wrath of the Warden campaign. And we've been in a very big fight for a very long time. And we're nearing the end, possibly, of it. And so far, no one's died. We'll see if that changes. I don't know. So, like, if I had to guess, I would put my money on Jeremy going down. That would be number one. Then Rowena. And yeah, that's probably it, because the other two are smart enough to probably run away. Because they don't get up and close in melee. So
they're on the roof. They're fine. And they're like looking down and they're like, yeah, we're good of her.
Oh, yeah, good. Oh, wow, yeah. Rowena. Oh, yeah.
Gwendolyn is definitely down next round.
We're up there taking bets. I'm like, I got $5 on Rowena dropping
I
before
think Gwendolyn is going down first.
Gwendolyn.
That's
what he gets for saying Mr. Eufrenda. So
my bad.
Yeah, that's fair. I deserve it.
Yep, that's true. Okay, so before we get going, let's do a quick roundup. Who we've got? Maybe last time we see them, we'll see. I don't know. I'm not. I think you guys will be fine. I think you'll be fine. It'll be fine. But we'll start with Kipser. Kipser, tell us who you're playing.
Today I'm playing Atolia. So she is a changeling. She comes from sort of Blackmoor, which is a little bit outside of Thistlehold. She is mostly magic. She's got a little bit of sneaky stuff, a little bit of thieves' tools. And she does hope to live this combat, but if she gets hit once, she's probably going down.
Have you taken any damage yet?
I took 1 damage from the bell.
Okay, so you've got 9 toughness left. You could take probably 2, 3 shots. I think you'll be all right. You'll be okay.
We'll see.
Okay. Next up, Aaron, tell us about Madjac.
Madjac Maekar is a dark-blooded, abducted human who spent his life in Darkovar training under the elves to become an Ironsworn. But he ran off to return to humanity, to become a monster hunter in Thistlehold. Currently, you see him up high, looking down on the battle. His Odinja or his Godinja half mask covering his face, his bow in his hand, and a half smile on his face, thinking, so sad that 2 of my close friends are going to die today.
I mean,
it's quite sad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of close friends because, he's like, but he is eyeing up one, trying to figure out how much can I get for their gear if it's intact when they drop.
Yeah, that's true. There are dead bodies all over the place. So if anybody just wants to go through and start, picking pockets, you could probably make a killing.
I'm a mercenary monster hunter, so it's
Absolutely.
about bring me the Thowlers, baby.
Wait, what French is my fault, Kipser? What did I miss?
It was me. I said bon DiGiorno.
Yeah, there's bon DiGiorno. There's bon bonjour. There's a bonsoir in there. I was watching people type some French stuff.
Wait,
everyone wants to say hi to you.
I think DiGiorno is Italian, Melissa.
A French fry, for that one.
I think that might be a pizza brand, actually.
It's like it is. Yeah.
DiGiorno.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, Melissa, defend yourself. Who are you playing?
I am playing Rowena, who is an Ambrian wizard and apprentice artifact crafter. She needs to prove herself in this new kind of endeavor that she's got going on. She's been doing a bit better with the wizard stuff over the years than this new stuff that she's got to pick up to be this artifact crafting. So like blacksmithing and some other things. So yeah, she's contributing as best as she can. She's got her quarterstaff that she uses to flank and defend and all of those things. And we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah. And it hasn't come into play yet, but remember that you have a long, I think the staff is a long weapon, if memory serves, which means that if anything does come up on you, remember that you do get the free attack before they get you. So no one else has one, so you're the only ones. So it's on you to remember, not me.
I've got a spear. I've got the same.
Yeah.
I've got polearm mastery too. So,
Yeah.
but I don't ever plan on being that close. I don't ever.
I've been dumb enough to always run up to them, so it hasn't come into play.
You
Not them so
when
much.
they're basically dead, so that you can kill steal.
Uh-huh.
Like that's what you do.
Yes, that is what I do.
That.
That's how we get
Steal the
XP,
kills.
right? And you
Well, that's
get
what
the
I
kill.
said. Homebrew rule: the only person who gets the kill, like old school MMO stuff, is the one who gets the XP. So play amongst yourselves.
So charming.
Yeah.
No, that's no problem, because then I'll just start shooting them in the legs and pinning them in place. And I'm like, all right, I'll be
just
fine.
teeing them up for my dudes to come and get them. It'd be great. And then finally, Jeremy, tell us about Gwydion.
Yeah, well, speaking of dumb enough to run into the fray, that's me. I'm playing Gwydion Forster. He's a barbarian warrior. He's not even supposed to be here today, but he got to play diplomat, and that was awesome. And then he got stabbed 1,000,000 times, and he's, woozy on his feet, and it's amazing. And just a grumpy piece of crap, and I love it.
Yeah. It's nice to see you finally playing someone so close to your actual personality. So,
yeah, I'm actually not role playing. I'm just like, if I was missing an eye, this is me.
Yeah, exactly. All right. All right, let's get started then. So last time around, so you all were pushing further down the promenade, which is a street within Thistlehold. You were going through all these various crumbled neighborhoods that were just west of it. Dust was swirling all around. You heard screams for help echoing from various alleys. Swarms of these bestial humans were attacking left and right. Madjac and Atolia, you managed to get up some fallen rubble onto one of the buildings, which allowed you not just to fire arrows and spells down on these various adversaries, but to kind of scout ahead and see some of the combat that was happening all around. Al and Gwydion managed to bottleneck some small groups in the alleys and such, and then Rowena was going around supporting their attacks and kill stealing, as we've already said, and healing as well. Yeah, also healing. There was a wave where you had a quick breath, but that's when Atolia and Madjac spotted a few guards and priests trying to fend off a bunch of these creatures atop of the rubble of a building, and they were trying to drag some bodies over to a nearby safe house. That's when a trio of Templars started charging down the street. They kind of joined the fight to help kind of stem some of the trouble there, so you can focus on just a few. The priest was slain, but the guard survived with less of a hand, and that's when you saw finally the giant sinkhole. Up until this point, you've heard maybe some random passersby yelling about it. You've heard the cracks and the rumbling, but for once, you finally actually see it. This massive sinkhole, a block or more of the city is just completely and utterly gone. Near its rim, you saw that there were various people gathered, guards and such. You saw Guard Captain Marvello, who was the guy at the North Gate that picked Gwydion to be the diplomatic translator. Clearly, his visit to Mayor Lightpitch interrupted. Father Elfino is a name that you heard, who is gathering some priests and tending to the injured inside of a safe house nearby. Eufrinda, mistress, some say master, Eufrinda, and Kulanon Furia of the Ordo Magica, where they're kind of assessing the cause of destruction. Rowena, your sort of mentor is Eufrinda, and he quickly briefed her on what happened at the gate, and then what happened with the witches, and then you kind of started discussing this bronze well, and she was able to give you some little details here and there. It's not just there for drinking water, but in fact, it's some kind of ancient warning system that sounds alarm whenever too much corruption grows near. And so she did kind of wonder if is this just the start, or is this the end? Like what exactly is going on? And that was about the time when the very ancient looking Kulanon just kind of silenced everyone around. And you all saw climbing up the sinkhole were more of these creatures, including at least one large savage figure wielding a giant black axe, swinging it to and fro, dragging it on the ground because of how heavy it was. So we're going to pick up basically moments right after that. We watch, you're standing in the middle of the road in the rubble all around you. We're going to handle this more theater of the mind this time. The rim of the sinkhole is basically just to the west of where the four of you are at. Creatures are continuing to pour up and out, but you can see that around the rim, guards and various townsfolk are engaging. Off to the north, you see as like guard captain Marvello kind of slides across the ground and reaches out and grabs the arm of one of his guards who is being pulled down by like some kind of hooked blade. And just as it looks like the two of them are about to go over, you see you see Pyre, the bird, just kind of fly over down into the sinkhole and start harassing. You watch like the owl run over and kind of throw himself in front of these different warriors and kind of help defend some of the guards. Off to the south around the rim a bit, not that far away, you watch as Kulinan and Eufrinda, they mutter some incantations. You see this flaming firewall erupt around them, and then all of a sudden, these mortars of brimstone just kind of get launched out from behind that and start exploding over top of these gangly beasts coming up the sinkhole. And then behind you, as you watch like a pair of these young priests that are like hurriedly dragging some of the guards back into the safe house that were injured, and then the Templars that had joined you, you can see they mutter a prayer. One of them's like, "For the lawgiver, for the light," and then three of them just charge in as these oncoming enemies crash. But they're still right in front of you, this extremely large one and a couple other small ones, a pair, that are bearing down on you. Specifically, we're going to say Gwydion, I would imagine, as he is usually towards the front. And as he comes forward, you can see a guard or two steps up to him, and he just swings, thump, and you see one guard just go flying, and then in the return swing hits another, knocking it off to the side, drops down to the ground. You see the cobblestone, the rubble just crack, and then as the axe is getting closer and closer, you just hear as it drags across the ground. So that's where we're going to pick up. I've got you all in initiative already. We're good to go. Again, we're going to start with Madjac, as you are highest initiative. What would you like to do?
So we're on the street level now, right?
We'll say street level, but I'll say a movement action could get you up some rubble or...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Madjac mutters under his breath, by Prios's radiant balls, this day is never going to end. He scrambles up some rubble to get some height.
Okay, fair enough. As long as you're not trying to climb up a building, we'll say no check necessary.
Yeah, no, he's just trying to get some height. Then he tracks on the big one, and he's like, "This better be worth some thalers." And he lets loose. I'm assuming this is the one in the middle is the big one.
Yeah, one in the middle is the big one. I have a little sheet for us to keep track of stuff, but I'm not going to put it on the big screen. So yeah. The one that's bearing down on Gwydion with this giant axe in his hand. This one's much taller, bigger, stronger. You see antlers almost kind of growing out, or horns growing out of the head in some way. All of them, and one of the things you guys did learn as you were assessing the bodies along the way is like some kind of like strange fleshcraft between Madjac and Rowena and the owl, kind of putting your heads together. You're able to kind of piece together like there is rumored to be intentional sorcery that attempts to create such sort of corruption to do something like this specifically, and this kind of has that vibe, which is pretty horrifying. Okay, whenever you're ready, Madjac, go ahead and give that a rip. Oh my. Okay.
Only 8 damage.
Okay, so he does have some armor. So let me double check to make sure he does protect. So he'll go ahead and absorb 2 of that. It's not so much armor as it appears to be just like this thickened, hardened dermis in some particular way. But one of his shoulders kind of flies back, and that'll be your turn. But he is still up. You can see the arrows there, and he just looks down at it. And doesn't even pay attention to it and stares back, looks towards you.
Get him, Gwydion!
And Gwydion, I believe it is your turn. I think you are next up. What would you like to do?
I won't turn down the opportunity. If he turns his head away from me for even a second, I am just trying to run up underneath him and swing up as best I can. Like if his axe is dragging on the ground, maybe even trying to hop off of it to get some elevation.
Okay. But let me double check. I don't think this is a long weapon, so I think all of that can definitely happen as you come up and parkour off the axe, so he doesn't get a swing. And make your attack.
Okay, so I'll target him. And we will see how this goes.
Yeah.
Defense. I'm going to remember how to actually use the system correctly this time.
I'm proud of you.
I know.
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
Starting off great. It's starting off.
It's
Millhouse again.
yeah. Here we go. This is great.
So you leap up and you go to stab down into like its giant head, but you realize like as you stab, like the bone that's extending out and the plating on the side of the head just deflects it at the last second as their head turns. But you have your offhand if you want to give that a go.
Do. Let's see how that goes. Maybe a little luck there.
yes.
Here we go. We'll
Okay.
roll a man. I keep fumbling damage. That's okay.
No. Hey, it got through. So you definitely turn, like with the second, you swing up with a kind of an uppercut and you catch it on the chin. And that'll be, you said 5 damage minus its protection. Okay. So, all right. It's still standing. It is now, we're going to say it's the beast, one of these beasts' turn. The smaller. So you've seen now 3 different types. This big one with this axe. You've seen one that kind of are more gangly and they everything looks humanoid, like you can see, but they have these various flesh crafts and things. But there's a few that sometimes do this kind of gallop and then they swipe out with claws and with these bone grafts. And so this is one of the smaller ones, we'll say, the ones that are kind of loping about. This one's going to attempt, we'll say, to run past Gwydion and charge the back line a bit before it's able to get into position. So, Gwydion, if you want to make a free attack on one of these as it goes by, you are welcome to do so.
I would love that. So should I target? Okay, I see it. I'll target it.
Yeah, the one that I just put next to Rowena.
Okay, I'll target him. We'll give it a try. And maybe. I can't roll damage for anything, but it's still something.
What'd you get?
I got 6 damage.
6 damage is still excellent. They do, let me check their protection levels. They don't have any protection levels. So what that means is that you've exceeded their threshold. And so you can make a choice. Yes. Do you knock them back? Do you take a second swing? What do you want to do?
I think I would take a second swing.
Go for it, man. Take that second. You might be able to kill it. Certainly
That's
possible.
my hope. There we go. That's what I wish. I wish I rolled on the big guy.
Look at that roll.
Nice.
There we go. I stopped fumbling then.
As this thing tries to run past you, describe what you do. As you do, in fact, kill it. As it looks like it's bearing down on Rowena. What do you do?
Basically, I was like dangling off the horns of the big guy. Just kind of drop down, catch it with the spiky end into its shoulder, pull it backwards, and then just break its face open as it falls to the ground and do a couple follow-up smashes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that one is no more. We'll then move down to Atolia. Atolia, you can see that Gwydion is in combat with one of these giant ones. You see a second one that's kind of is like flanking around. You're not yet sure if it's going to commit to Gwydion or if it's going to chase you all down in the back line. What would you like to do?
First, Atolia will use her movement action to get away and up somewhere safe a little bit.
Okay. Do you want to follow
maybe
Madjac
with
again?
Madjac? Yeah, I'll follow Madjac again. I'll just move
Sounds
myself
good.
over here. She's going to see the one that's flanking. I need to switch my targeting. And she is going to let loose with a free action one more of the storm arrows that she still has floating around her, which leaves her with 1 left. And then she's also going to pull her bow up. And she's not very good at it, but she'll give it a go. See if we can't shoot.
Which one are you going to target?
I am targeting the smaller one that's trying to flank.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
On both attacks.
Okay, I love it. Give it a go.
I need to defend. There we go. I think that is correct.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
First one goes through. First shot goes in. These do have some armor. So you'll see this is a storm arrow, you said, or a regular arrow?
Oh, sorry. That's a regular arrow. This wonderful roll of a 1 on a d6 is the storm arrow.
Okay, and that's like extra damage.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
just like a free shot of damage.
Okay. For the purposes of damage reduction, does it all get counted as one? Is it like a rider on it?
No,
No.
it's yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's something I need to build up a little bit.
Madjac looks over and he's like, Atolia, stop firing your bow ghetto style. I'll point it up like this for the God's sake.
It's not
like,
my best.
Come on.
Jack's got all ghetto style, Prios's balls. Yeah, there's a.
I grew up in the fucking gutter. Deal with it.
That's gutter style. Got it.
All right. Sorry, I should have started that. Okay, so that was Atolia, and now it is my turn. Okay. You know what? I am going to. I'm just going to roll a die randomly to see if he decides to run past towards Atolia, or if he's going to kind of focus on Gwydion out in front.
He should come to me. He should do it.
He's going to actually go to Atolia, and so he's going to run up the rubble in your direction. And he's going to come charging in as he's not rooted or anything like that. And he comes just charging up. But it does mean he has to bypass Gwydion. So Gwydion, you can take a swing at him.
I will take every pot shot I can take.
Please do. Please do.
I'm a good person.
I believe you.
Yeah. You fool. Character defense. And
Oh, we got it again.
Maybe.
Nice.
here we go.
All right.
It's a little bit.
That is damage. It's not enough to.
It's damage. It's something.
It's damage.
Helps.
It's not going to one-shot him, but you do slash him as he tries to move past, as Gwydion is just in this wild flash of movement, cutting one down, dodging some of the others, and then this one does manage to climb up that rubble, and it's now effectively in the face of Atolia. So Atolia, I'm going to need you to actually roll defense for me, please, against its accuracy. Accuracy.
All right. Let me just find for defense sorry, you're gonna have to remind me where that button is.
It's normally quick. You could just, if you look on your character sheet where the armor
Under
section
armor.
is, you can usually just click on armor and it'll do it for you.
Oh, okay. I was in the wrong tab.
No worries. So effectively you're rolling you're rolling quick versus its accuracy. Its accuracy is going to have a minus. It's going to have a -5 to your target number. Okay, so it will hit you.
He hits me.
Okay, so a couple things are going to happen. You know what? I actually forgot to put the poison on, so I'm not going to go ahead and say it's got poisoned yet, but it's going to do 4 points of damage to you. As it comes rushing up and it just rakes down you. And like you can see like there's like your arrow is kind of flimsily hanging from around by its its collarbone, but you can also tell like there's this heavy like rigid plating almost that seems almost built underneath their skin, and it just comes trudging up the rubble and swings down, and you go ahead and takes a couple points of damage. You can roll your armor however first. So what are you at? So roll a d4.
Roll a d4. Okay.
Okay, so you reduce that by 2, so you take a total of 2 damage. You take two toughness loss. Okay, but they are up in your biz. Next up, it's going to be.
You fucking bollocks!
It's going to be the guard. These are called guardians. I'm just going to let it out, so it's easier for me. So this one's going to go next. The first thing you notice, Gwydion.
You'll be fine.
A couple things are going to happen, buddy. So I need to tell you something because I forgot to tell you when you hit him because you did actually do damage to him. You, as you slash into him and as Madjac shot into them, you saw erupting from beneath its skin, its blood. And when its blood like essentially splattered onto you, maybe the first time it hit your shoe, maybe the second time it hit your weapon, but then finally at a certain point it hit your skin. and you heard as this actually has. I know we were just talking about alien before stream. These have acidic blood.
Oh,
so
good.
They do have so.
Oh,
so this
boy.
is going to. There's a lot of things in them.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, you guys are doing pretty good. All right,
Oh,
so
no.
okay, so I need you to make a defense test first, Gwydion, to see if this actually hits you. So we'll make the defense test now to see if it actually lands on a place that's going to do damage to you.
Okay, so basically I click on my armor thing, and what should I have it versus? Like his accuracy, or
I think it's just a flat defense for you. So it's
just roll flat?
Yeah.
Okay, roll flat quick. Well, I've got a penalty, so I'll roll it off my armor because that gives me a penalty.
Okay.
And we'll ignore the armor roll that comes with it.
Okay.
Nice.
You succeeded. So you do manage, as you see the sizzle on some of your equipment, to contort yourself in a way so that it doesn't actually land on your skin. Nonetheless, you do see some of your armor and some of your equipment is suffering a bit of the acidic burn. The second thing
It just keeps getting worse.
The second thing you notice is that wound that you had done to it as you did this uppercut and slashed it up its throat towards its chin, as you're watching, it's just stitching itself back up. And you can see that some of the damage that you had done, some of the damage that Madjac had done, has slowly started to stitch itself together.
Right.
Okay.
That's very rude. Rude.
How
now
rude.
I will actually do its attack.
Okay.
So it's going to.
This is more rude.
This one's
Very
really
rude.
rude, actually. So Gwydion, I need you to actually make a defense roll against its accuracy.
Okay, got it.
It's going to heft this axe up, and it's going to do like a horizontal, trying to bifurcate you right in half. This is just this horizontal swing. Whoosh, its body twisting.
Dodge, dip, and dodge.
Duck.
Ah!
And you manage to duck out of the way. However, it also has an ability so that if it misses
Oh no!
on its first attack, it actually can on its return attack, it can hit again. And so that's what it's going to do. As you duck under the first, but then it swings back for a second. And so this is going to be same thing. So just roll another defense against its accuracy.
Okay.
You got this.
You got this, man. And you duck into this one. As you duck under the first, it comes back and tries to get you. You hop over the second, and you stand in front of it, and you can tell it's very, very perturbed that you didn't get attacked. And that is its turn. And that, I think, is the end of my turn. So we go to Rowena at the bottom. Rowena, you are in the back. You're a few steps behind Gwydion. You're just a slope of rubble away from where Atolia is now being attacked by one as well. So you can get to either of them, or you can run away, or there is a sinkhole you can jump in. A lot of options. What would you like to do?
There are several options. So Rowena has been watching what's been happening here with Gwydion, and she's like, "Oh, this is so interesting! All of these things that it's doing. This is so interesting." So she's pretty much
Just writing in your notebook.
What she does. So Rowena is basically just going to come around into the flanking position. So she's going to kind of do the double movement so that she's running around, so that when it is Gwydion's turn, we will be in flanking with each other.
So
if that is something like terrain wise that I can manage.
We mentioned this last week, and let's make a firm ruling on it from here on out. So rules as the game goes, it's one movement to get into attack and then another movement to get into flanking. So it would take up your whole action. I am okay with this with saying if you already have an ally that's engaged with you, if your movement into melee, I'm fine with saying it automatically goes into flanking, but it's going to be true for the enemies too. So like if that's the way we want to speed up combat, I'm cool with that. But if everyone's okay with that, how do we feel?
Makes more sense to me.
Okay. So I think we should.
I'm okay with it.
I'm cool with that. It's just going to be for everybody. Okay, perfect. So so that means
Everybody's good?
you can. So you are in flanking position. You still have your action. What would you like to do?
All right, then I will kind of come around, and she's kind of having this chat with Gwydion. It's just like, this is so interesting. All of these things that they can do, they're just so interesting. We should really study these. She kind of like is pulling out her quarterstaff and is just going to try to poke it on the head.
Oh, goodness. So you, because you're in flanking, you're going to get advantage. So I'm trying to remember. There's a couple bonuses.
Okay, so it's
for that.
Plus 2 and a plus D4 damage, I think.
And if you click your weapon before you roll it, there's a little box you can click for advantage, and it'll just do it for you.
And so, what is it
We are
versus
using Foundry,
again?
so.
Defense.
This is just pick defense, and it'll default
Defense.
to whatever
Okay.
skill this shit
Versus
has it set up to.
defense, and click the box for advantage.
Mhm.
And roll. Let's see what happens. That
And you
is
Yeah,
things.
nice.
All right, I did succeed.
You hit it harder than I did.
And
Good
I
job.
did 8 damage.
Rowena, please describe your kill.
Yes.
I really am a kill stealer.
Whack-a-mole.
That's a lot of damage.
Amazing.
You got it. That's enough. That's enough.
So, oh my
Once
gosh,
again.
Gwydion, it's like acidic. And it's just, it went after you twice. That's just so interesting. And she like comes up and just like right on the head with the quarterstaff.
So like you smack it as it's focusing on Gwydion. It just swung twice, and Gwydion dodged both. I imagine that like it's so furious right now, it doesn't even notice you. Kind of move into flanking position and just crack it over the back of the head. The head just and it crumbles in this big heap to the ground. And as it does so, Gwydion, you look on the other side. There's Rowena.
Number one, thank you. Number two, how the fuck do you keep doing that?
Well, I watch. I'm trained to watch, and I watch, and I see what's happening. And you're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. At that moment, Atolia, Madjac, you two hear a commotion behind you. As you all are standing on some rubble, there's like a hill of rubble that you were able to scurry up. This creature was able to follow you, but you all were kind of started in the street between the sinkhole, between that kind of medical house. And Madjac, I think you have pretty good vigilance, right? Like your vigilance is pretty high.
15.
So,
15.
Yeah, you would hear a commotion for sure coming from behind you. Maybe Atolia, you're obsessed with like the thing that's in your face trying to kill you. Yeah, 11's not bad. So, Madjac, you look over your shoulder as you're kind of repositioning a little bit, and you can see that the priests that were dragging the guards past you and trying to get back to that safe house, they go to the door, and they're going to open it, and right as they do, it explodes in splinters, and they go flying. The guards come flopping down to the ground. You hear these screams from inside, and a half second later, Madjac, you see like these two bestial warriors, not the gigantic creature that Gwydion was facing, but more of the kind of the ones that you felt were a little sturdier along the way, much like the one in front of Atolia, comes spilling out. And they're locked in battle with this like tall, white-haired Ambrian who's wielding this bastard sword and swinging it to and fro. You can see he's got like the severed arm of one of these creatures like hanging from his side, where the bone blade has just managed to sink its place between its ribs. And you can hear as well, like coming from out some of the windows of that safe house, you hear "Abomination!" just screamed out like this great volume. They're coming from the cellar. And so two more have entered the fight at least. As you see coming up behind you, there is this sort of white-haired, aging, very large-looking Ambrian who seems to be locked in battle with a couple of these warriors. And so that's where we are as we start round 2. And Madjac, it is your turn. You're next to Atolia. There's a warrior in fairly close proximity to you. What would you like to do?
Need a little bit of help, please.
Madjac whispers to Atolia, you got this one, right?
No.
So he's not engaged with the one that's engaged with Atolia, though, right?
I'm fine to say you're okay, because he did specifically charge at Atolia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he would. So Madjac would just take a couple steps back to give himself some space, and then he starts to aim towards the silver-haired guy's monsters. Winks at Atolia, pivots and fires at the one that is trying to kill her.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
You had gives her going. She thought you
I was worried. I really thought he was going for the other ones.
Oh,
Well, you know, you got to have some fun, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. All right. So yeah, give it a go.
Oh,
Oh my, I still think that's good.
that's a success. Yeah, 6 points of
yes.
damage.
Still good.
You're very good at
will-
archery.
It will mitigate a little bit of that with its armor. So that's not enough for you to get past its threshold. So, but it does in fact do some damage. Still up, however, as there's now a second arrow in it, and it is right on top of Atolia. Anything else you want to do, Madjac?
No, I think. I mean, other than he tries to get a line of sight on this old swords master and the two that are attacking him for next round, maybe. But that's it.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Gwydion, you're staring Rowena in the face. There's a dead heaping mass in front of you. You hear the sounds of the shouting from behind. Maybe it's not as clear to you from where you're standing, but when you look around, you can see that these beasts have somehow, they're not just coming up out of the sinkhole, but they're somehow behind you now too. But you also see up on the hill, Atolia is being attacked. So what would you like to do?
I mean, that's not even a choice.
Atolia's got this. Go for it, Gwydion. Madjac's just smiling.
No, you
I've
you
never
know
been through
better.
this magic.
No, that is not that's not how Gwydion works. Gwydion will run up behind the one that looks like it's going to try and go for Atolia.
Absolutely.
And then-
so you charge in. It's taken some damage as its attention is very much on Atolia because of what we just said with the rules. We'll say you just immediately get a flanking. Go
Cool.
ahead. Yeah,
I
so
will
plus
give
2.
that a go. And then defense.
And potentially
click on
more damage.
Let's see how this goes.
That's that plus 2 did a lot of work there.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
Yeah.
pretty sure I think that was a fail
I'm so
without
close.
without the flank.
Without the flanking, that was
Without
a
the flank.
fail.
Describe your kill as that's a lot of damage. So
I
how do you
think
take this
it
one
would
out?
have been a fail, but it's almost like when you see mountain climbers, it's hammer on one side, but kind of like a pick on the other. And like when you see mountain climbers like climb their way up, he's doing a thing where he's like trying to jump up to get to it. He's basically just climbing up its back
Yeah.
until he finally gets into it.
And so as this thing is like roaring and at Atolia, as it opens its mouth and it's about to attack again, you just see the pick come out of its mouth. And as it gets yanked free, it falls, and there's Gwydion standing right behind it.
Gwydion,
so
my
that's-
friend, did you see how Rowena killed that big one? She's a hell of a warrior.
Gwydion, I would say, thank fuck for you.
That's we're all still breathing. That's great. Oh, look, there's some old fucker over there. And we'll be there in a minute.
Okay. Atolia, you are actually next. So actually, wait, Gwydion, you have your offhand. Do you want to stab Atolia with it, or we go to waste?
Oh,
Oh,
that's
thanks, Jeff.
tempting.
Oh, that's
Uh,
great.
Just throwing it out there.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it, but I'll pass.
I'll remember that.
This
Corruption
time
on
I'll
her.
pass.
Just a matter of time before she goes A-bomb.
It's true.
All right. Atolia, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
So Atolia will kind of step onto the square where the creature is, and she's going to just like quickly tap out at Gwydion and is going to try to heal him one more time. Oh, let me target you. I think that'll help. And then a lay on hands, a roll. Okay, roll well. Roll well.
Oh,
no.
my God.
So that would be a critical fail.
Okay.
Oh God.
Real
I just
sorry.
got like a system message. What's that about? Okay, so you get temporary corruption, Atolia,
Yes.
as you attempt to lay on hand. How are you doing on your corruption? How are you looking?
So what was the ruling on meeting our threshold versus going over the threshold? No reason.
You have to exceed it.
I do have
you
to.
Yeah. So there was according to the rules I read, it was equal or exceed. Let me double check.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I saw in like the 1.14 errata.
Okay.
I didn't see any changes up at that point, so it's still.
We don't want to be a little bit kinder with that.
No.
All right. Well, then I am 7 out of 8. So 8 is my halfway threshold. So I'm
you're
still
one
okay,
away.
but I cannot cast anymore.
Okay.
And you better
hope
day.
that there aren't any enemies that actually do corruption to you with their attack.
Yeah, I'm not getting close to anything
You
anymore.
might not have a choice. You might not have a choice.
And I will then use my free action to shoot out my last storm arrow at one of the creatures that is attempting to flank the old dude over in the corner.
Okay.
And that is just a straight D6 of damage. Let's see if we even get over their threshold. Probably not. It's 2 damage.
Okay. 2 points of damage. You're right. Two is their mitigation. So again, it just sort of bounces off of their heavy skin, and they'll continue to swing. However, you just shot at one, and it's their turn. And so are you trying to hide in the body of the other? I can't even see your token.
I did say I moved up to the end.
Okay. What do I want to do? All right. I think one of them is going to charge up at you since you did attack it. I think that's what's going to happen. So it will. However, I would like you, if you could, Atolia, roll a d20, as we'll see if this guy, this old white-haired man, manages to get a hit. So just roll a d20, and I'll do the calculations by hand. So
Nice.
There we are.
Roll.
he will hit. Isn't going to kill him, but he will do 5 points of damage. It'll be obviously mitigated. But he does slash the guy across the back as this second creature runs away from the white-haired man up the rubble towards you, who shot at him. You started. You
Not
picked
even
the fight.
fucking
Just
doing any
remember.
damage.
You picked the fight. You were trying to send a message.
Was I?
Okay. And so I
No
think
good
because
deed goes unpunished.
I think it's going to attack you.
No
and you
kidding.
attacked it. So go ahead and roll a defense. Roll your defense against its accuracy as it comes charging in. And so yeah, it should be your quickness versus its defense. Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, so you're going to get 2 protection against its damage. It does, so it will hit. It by default will do 4. So you're going to take 2 more points of damage as it comes, and it leaps up and just throws down this huge kind of, it's almost like a claw, but it's very much Wolverine-like. You just see these long, thick blades coming out and it slashes down at you with it as it leaps up. And then the second one will just fight with the NPC. Then we'll go to Rowena. What would you like to do?
So
Ouch.
Rowena
Ouch.
was thinking about going and fighting over where like her friends are fighting. There is
Yeah.
still one over there, right?
There is still one over there, but you would know. I mean, like Madjac and Gwydion will get to go before it gets to go. Actually, Madjac, Gwydion, and Atolia will all get to go before it goes again.
Before it goes again.
It's probably going to die. One of them is
Okay.
probably going to kill it.
So then she
But-
will kind of.
You are very good at kill stealing, so
You
That's
have
true.
you have just cursed me
reputation
to
to maintain.
getting it again before we kill it.
okay.
This is the way.
Oh, I am tempted to go over there and make sure that it. I'll do the heroic thing and go save this older gentleman, and yes, hit that
Okay.
person. So
I will
We're in
say he's an NPC, but I have no problem with you taking flanking with him. As you come charging in, you smell not just like the filth and the sweat, but you smell like just the most potent odor of black brew. Just like you're pretty sure this guy might be utterly drunk. He's like, yeah, you stupid abomination. Oh, I'm so thirsty. And you can see as he seems to be stumbling around, not just from anger in trying to hit, but he might be a bit drunk right now.
Nice.
And so Rowena just comes over and she's like, just stay standing right there. Just stand right there. Right there.
Two of you can take care of this one. I'll take care of this one. And he's like pointing at the same thing.
One of me. Yeah, one just stay right there. I got this. Yep.
This is battle. It's not a salon. Swing your weapon.
Oh dear, you moved. I missed. So like you didn't stand in one. You didn't stand in one place. Yep.
As you swing, and even with the bonuses you get from flanking, there's not enough.
Yeah. No, not enough.
We go to the next round. This is what happens. First, Morena, now that you've come charging in, you can see the splintered wood. You can see the open door frame. And you can see standing in the door frame, invisible. That's not right. Not yet
Invisible?
visible by
Totally
your...
a real word.
Obscured.
Guys, I'm an English professor. You can trust me. You see something standing in the doorway. And you see various lights and things kind of coming from inside. And you hear the sounds of fighting from inside. And you notice that they're kind of standing in the doorway is a woman. It's got this sort of dark, leathery skin the way these others have. You can see that there are these antlers or bones or horns kind of coming out, almost like it's creating like half of a crown. And she's almost hunched over in some way. And there's like a something dripping down from her chin, like this like kind of black, looks like some kind of like almost blackness, almost shadow itself, just kind of extending down. And she's just as she is here. Let me double check. Did I not put her in here? Yeah, she's in here. Okay. So
Rowena's just looking around the old guy and the other bunch of her friends, and she's just
You
like,
got this. Just
Hell
yell out
yeah.
Klaatu Barada Nikto.
Klaatu. And then you see kind of chasing over from where like the sinkhole was, you can see two more of the loping kind of more feral like looking ones are sort of joining the fight as well as why do I keep doing that? As there's more that have joined the fight now. Okay. But we will go to Madjac. Madjac, you are right next to Atolia. You have stepped to be able to see the guy the white-haired man that Rowena has now reinforced. But you also notice that Atolia just got charged and there's one still near you. What would you like to do?
How close is it to me?
So I've been saying like he's specifically charged in Atolia.
Okay.
And so
I'm okay.
I'll say you're okay. Yeah.
Do I see this new one that came charging out that's running towards Rowena and the old
You don't
one?
see that one. So no, because that one's basically standing like inside the building in the doorway. So you all wouldn't be able to see it. Only Rowena would because she got closed in on.
So I just step back and aim down at the one that is attacking Rowena.
Yeah.
Take him out.
Okay. So firing down, trying to thread the needle between the white-haired Ambrian and Rowena itself. Okay.
I don't mean Rowena. Tolia. The one that's attacked.
Okay.
Tolia, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, Rowena. He's tired of you kill stealing.
totally get it. Totally get it.
All right. So this one has taken some damage. Okay, so that's another hit. It is not enough yet to kill him, as he does have a couple arrows in him, but he is still breathing, still up, still angry. But you could tell that you have started to work on him pretty good. And you can see he's also struggling to move and shift. Gwydion.
All right.
Well, let's make sure to finish that.
Okay.
I'm not able to target. I'll just keep targeting the one that I was targeting because it'll be the same stats.
Okay.
So
Sure. I'll say that you probably need to spend a move action though to get because Atolia specifically stepped on the buy. So I'll say you probably would take a move action.
Will do.
But this would accrue a free attack from it, so it would be able to take a free attack. I think in this situation,
for moving into it.
Yeah, because you do have to like in this case, I think it would.
Sure.
Because you were kind of already in a melee. Okay, so
who's
just
the other one I'm in a
against
melee with, though?
What's that?
The dead one.
The dead one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Atolia like stepped on top of it, and so she's literally standing on top, and it's on the other side of her now as it came running up. So it's like you're running around. I see what you're saying.
I gotcha. So do a defense check against its accuracy.
Against its accuracy, yeah.
Cool. And we do have audience boost. Yeah, I don't remember what we were using them for, but we do have.
I'll use
one, I think.
+1, yeah.
+1s, yeah.
Okay.
I'll take advantage of that. It'd be really nice not to get hit.
You got him. There you go. Actually, no, never mind. No, you did not hit it. You got hit. It does hit you, but you do have some protection. So with your mitigation, you're only going to take 2 points of damage as you move around, but it's able to, with that claw, just rake it across your thigh as you twist and pour around it. But then you can turn around and try to finish it off. And I'll say with flanking now with Atolia.
Okay.
Want another boost?
I got advantage. I'll save boost for folks.
Such a cheater.
Versus defense, advantage.
Never enough. There you go, man.
Nice. You got this. You got this.
Okay.
All right.
So that'd be 6.
Give me the offhand. You're going to need the offhand to kill it.
Okay.
It's close. It's dangling. It's dangling.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. Atolia.
She still gets to go. She still gets to go.
Yeah, like my rolls have been lower than an 8.
That's what I wanted.
Your offhands are doing more than your main hand.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Just grab your kill as you take it out for sure.
It seems like the consistent thing is like hooking it with one, setting it up for the bigger hit. And we are kind of on a raised platform. So it's kind of like pulling it down into the rubble that I was just in and then just hammering away at it once it's in an awkward position. Like the hammer goes into the side of its temple, then into the throat, and then just kick it a couple times.
And it just kind of gets stuck for a moment on your weapon, and like you have to like push it off, and it stumbles to the ground. Okay, so for me, these little beasts get to go. I'm gonna send one towards Rowena in the group, and I'm gonna send the other up the rubble towards the three of you. I will roll randomly to see who hit targets. 1 to 2 Atolia, 3 to 4 Madjac, 5 to 6. It is Madjac. So Madjac, one of these is actually going to come attack you.
Rude bastard.
But I will say, Atolia, it does run past you. So if you would like to take a free attack, if you have a melee weapon and such.
I do. I do have a bow in hand, but I'm still allowed to do it with a dagger, even though I've been using a bow.
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to, so we'll just say yes for now, and we'll figure it out later. So yeah,
I know.
Go ahead and take it.
Yeah, that's I will take it. I don't think it is, but I'll definitely take it. Hey.
Yeah, you hit. 6 points of damage. Excellent.
Max damage.
Nice.
Not only that, but that is enough to actually beat its threshold. So you could take another attack if you like.
Oh, I will.
It comes charging at Madjac, and then as you have your bow in one hand, you just pull the dagger out and hack it in the back of the neck.
I am so fucking tired. Hating these guys.
It's true. You are so close to killing it, but not quite. As you just stab it once, twice in the back, but it does still live, and it will get one attack of its measly life off on Madjac beforehand. So Madjac, go ahead and roll a defense against its accuracy. Oh my.
Oh, it's terrible.
Wow, that was not a good roll.
That was not a good roll.
Your protection. All right, so this one's going to do 3 points of damage to you in total. That's the net. As it gets stabbed twice in the back of the head and the neck, but it still lunges out desperately and gets one off on Madjac. Still standing though, but very, very bloodied. The other one had charged in on Rowena, and Rowena, I'm going to need you to make a defense roll. Actually, it's only fair that I 50-50 player versus Sarek. So 1 to 3, it'll be your Rowena. And it is Rowena. Sorry. Go ahead. It's a 3 again.
That's fine. So I am rolling armor versus accurate.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
It will get an
with
attack
fail.
off on. It will get a hit off on you. So you're going to get 2 points of protection. It's doing 4 damage, so -2, so it does 2 damage to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
but-
that hurts.
Okay, but you are in a little bit of a tussle now, and your allies don't even know about this other strange looking woman chanting something. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Go ahead, Atolia. You are next. The one that you just stabbed twice, the blood dripping from its dagger, is still standing next to you.
Yes, I will use a move action. Can I use a move action to flank and then stab with a dagger again?
So I'm gonna rule it the same way I ruled it with Jeremy, just to be consistent. Because it ran into you guys and you're not running into melee with it, I'm saying this is more of a reposition. So you could do it, but it's going to get a free attack. So it's up to you.
I will take the free attack. Okay. So it's against accuracy,
yes,
right?
It's accuracy, correct. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I think I forgot to target it. I'm targeting one of the dead ones.
So you rolled a 12, right?
Yeah.
So 12 -1. So you needed to. Its accuracy is -1.
Mm-hmm.
Your
so
quickness
it's the same.
is 8. So that's a fail. Yeah, it's going to be a fail. So you're going to take 3 points of damage as your protection only absorbs 1.
Gotcha.
But you are in position and you do have flanking on it with Madjac. What would you like to do?
Stab it in the back a bunch, hopefully.
You've gotten 2 already. Can you get the third one?
Would you like a bonus?
Ooh, I should probably do a bonus, shouldn't I?
You're so close.
I will take that one bonus. I'll do a modifier
Yeah.
+1.
Thank you, audience.
Advantage and a bonus.
Thank you,
You got
audience.
this. You've got this.
Describe your kill. You got it.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
Atolia has been like slashed by these creatures. She's her light armor is absolutely torn and wrecked, barely holding on, and she's just like has gone a little bit wild, nearing the edge of corruption, and is just like 26, 28, and just not like it's not moving anymore. But she's still like turning it into a pile of mush on the ground with her dagger.
Love it. And now it's I'm just going to call it its name, the Mystic's turn. As standing in the doorway, you've been hearing Rowena, like this strange kind of guttural chant. And you turn and you see where that kind of dripping was almost like a tattoo in some way. It begins to actually form like this dark cloud. And you watch as she suddenly stops chanting and just goes, and you watch as she uses an ability called Black Breath. And I think she's going to target you with it. One creature is hit. I'm going to have you roll this, Rowena. Roll a d6, Rowena.
That is a 2.
Okay, so let me make sure I get this right. So this is an interesting ability because depending on who she targets, it can do one thing or another.
Okay.
What is your corruption currently?
I'm currently at 0 because I just had a temporary corruption very, very early kind of opening scene, and I haven't done anything to get corruption since then. So big fat 0.
If it is higher than the creature being targeted's current corruption, you suffer the outcome of that D6 roll in temporary corruption. So Rowena, you get to take 2 temporary corruption. Atolia, come down into the water. It's fine. It'd be great. Okay, then also in this melee with Rowena and this NPC, this tall white-haired Ambrian, there's another one of these creatures. It's his turn now. I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing, 50-50 between it attacking the man This time it's going to attack the man, and so you do see it kind of hack in, and another one of these comes down, but the guy still seems to be standing. And then, Rowena, it comes to you. You're in a little bit of a pickle here, as there's now 3 down here.
And I don't think I'm going to run, because that would be 2 different things, if not 3 different things, getting a free attack on me.
You would get, there would be free attacks from 2
I
of them.
am going to, with that just influx of corruption that happened, she is definitely going to kind of like let out a yell for the rest of her party, just to kind of like lean off to the side a little bit to try to get line of sight
waves.
for somebody and just be like, help.
Okay.
And then she will try to.
I would tell you that you have fought these things enough to know that the one behind you, the smaller one, is probably a little bit easier to take out than the other one. The other one does more damage and is a little bit more battle proficient, but the gangly one that occasionally you can see go on all fours and step up and slash, that one is a little bit easier, if you're concerned with that.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm not lying to you about that.
The one thing is that I have flanking currently on the other one.
That's true. That's fair.
So from a strategic perspective, I think the flanking probably is the better way to go.
Okay.
So
strategic.
You just hear them. Gosh, John, you auto Madjac, take out your heaviest book and just collapse its head. I need a drink.
I like this guy.
He's my new best friend.
You would. I figured you would.
And I want to say that she's kind of swapped hands a little bit, because she kind of saw this just awful thing coming out the other way, and so she just kind of like flips hands a little bit with the quarterstaff, and she's just going to try again to. Yes.
We forgot, and I even reminded you to remind yourself of this. You got a free attack on the beast one, the one below you, because you have a long weapon, so you should have gotten a free attack when it came up on you.
Oh, that's right.
So if you want to do that now, go ahead and do that, and then you can take your actual turn.
Okay, so I'm going to target that one, and then thank you for the reminder.
Not my responsibility.
Defense. I did completely forget about that. What's the damage here? What's 3?
Hey,
every little
bit.
Still
damage. These don't. The smaller ones don't actually have damage mitigation. You've noticed, like most of it goes through, and so that does in fact go through. Okay, so now take your normal action as you whirl around and try to crack this one. As this drunken Amrian tells you to just hit it with your heaviest book.
I have studied polearms. She says for no particularly good reason. But
polearms, you hit people with them.
I beg to differ. I have been told I have mastery in polearms.
And kill it.
I don't know that I did. I did it. I succeeded. I got 6 damage.
You did hit it. That is not enough to kill it outright, but you did hit it. You don't get its threshold, but you did get it. Okay.
Good. And she did yell help in case we missed that at the very beginning. That was not just for flavor. She has yelled for help.
Okay.
Don't want to interrupt your studies.
Top of the round. Madjac, you took a hit, but now the bodies are mounting around you, and you look down and you see not only has Rowena gotten a little bit surrounded, but you see like there was a moment where this strange kind of shadow like warped around her a bit. You still can't quite see the source of it, but you saw it kind of wrap around it. Something odd's going on down there. What would you like to do? I would say you also notice that some of the priests are like kind of hopping out the back of this building, and like they're handing some of the wounded to each other. You see various flashes of light occasionally. You see like one of the priests comes out and like hops down and starts firing these rays of light back into the building itself, and the roof is kind of starting to crumble as well. What would you like to do?
So you see Madjac cracks his neck. You see that wound on him actually start to close up.
Regeneration.
Then he smiles. He waves down at Rowena, knocks, and fires at the one that she's in the flank with the old man.
Gotcha. We'll assume step, fire, etc. All right. Let's see. That's a hit.
Nice.
11. That is exactly enough damage.
Gosh.
Describe your kill, Madjac. That's exactly on point.
So he and then the arrow guy in his ear and comes out his neck. It just blood just goes and he falls.
So this thing turns around to like fight Rowena, and as it's turning, the arrow just enters in one side, comes out the other, and as it turns to hit Rowena, it just kind of continues to turn, and this momentum just takes it down. And that one is now dead as well. Excellent shot. Okay, Gwydion.
Amazing.
What do you want to do?
All right. Gwydion has no clue what's going on with the Mystic, but he does see the other one behind Rowena. So he'll go running towards that one.
Okay.
And that's a pretty long distance. I'm like, I don't know if you want that to be a double move or.
You're fine. You're fine. No.
Okay.
And per our rules, since you're the one running into it, and it's not like you're starting there and having to, maneuver, we'll give you the advantage from flanking on this.
All right, I'll give that a go.
And I will say, as you come in and swing, you do see like the last tail end of this shadow, this breath, and you look in the doorway, you can see explosions of light in the crumbling of the ceiling and the floor tiles of the room of that medic area is beginning to rupture. And she's just kind of standing on this threshold, swaying some strange little kind of device in front of you that looks like some kind of focus, and the shadow just comes back up into her mouth. How did you do on your attack?
I did 11 damage with the first one.
Describe your kill.
It's almost like a distracted, like the hook end like goes into its chest, and he's just staring at it, like only half paying attention to clubbing it in the head over and over again as he stares at this bizarre abomination in front of him.
And I feel like as Gwydion runs by, Rowena's like, this was really interesting, but I'd rather study it dead.
Why do you find all the most awful shit, Rowena?
You two, in your incessant babble, finish this. As he turns to Gwydion, well done, you two. And then he turns back around, nearly stumbles. And let's see, that was Gwydion. Atolia, you're up.
I want some of what he's having.
So Atolia, I still can't see the Mystic, right? I can see that they're looking at something, but
something's you probably hear them shouting at this point. A movement action would obviously put you into vision of it. So that's all you basically have to do is kind of run down the rubble a bit, and you would be able to see it.
All right, Madjac, I'm gonna go see what the hell they're up to. So she'll kind of like move down, parallel to where she was standing, and sees the Mystic. Hopefully. So I was reading up on corruption, specifically if I hit my threshold, because I would be doing it with the temporary corruption and not the permanent corruption. I would get a temporary stigma according to page 177 of the Player's Handbook.
That sounds correct.
And all right, I think you'll better fucking appreciate this.
You sure you want to do that? You could always just take a shot with your bow or something.
Regular old attack.
Okay. I will hold off unless you guys get hurt enough that I need to bring you back up with lay on hands. I will think twice about it. Think of my mother and what she would say to me. All right. I'll pull at the bow and I'll try to take a shot again with it. Let me make sure I am targeting. Yes. It's defense roll. Ooh, it was a bad idea. That is an 18.
Okay. Because don't forget, because some of those stigmas cannot be good, and like it could potentially give you some very serious trouble.
So it says here
because you become blight marked, I believe,
Yes.
when your total corruption is hitting your corruption threshold. I think you become blight marked, and blight mark is like a degree of
table.
Yeah.
It's blight
25.
mark is page. Yeah, sorry, table 25 and 24, really. But I can get a discrete check to see if I can hide it.
Right. It'll heal after a day, but
Yes.
it does mean. I
Yep.
mean, everyone's a little bit on heightened edge because of these creatures, so you never know.
True. Okay.
Yeah, narratively that could be risky right now.
Yeah.
These 3 Templars fall on Anatolia.
All right. I'll be smart.
Stab
Okay.
Mala got
You
stab.
guys don't
Didn't
want me
see
to get
that coming.
corrupt. All right.
Okay.
I shoot and I miss, and I shoot again and I
Okay.
miss.
All right. It's that mystic's turn. I've got 3 targets between Rowena, Gwydion, and this NPC. I'll roll it. It's going to be Rowena again.
No.
I need you to roll a D6.
Got it.
What a learning
D6.
opportunity.
Oh, you're
Right.
fine.
I'm learning so well. It's a 1
here's-
and my current is a 2.
So here's the fun thing. You actually heal an amount equal to the roll because it's equal or lower than your corruption value. So you could heal 1 point of damage.
What did,
So she can use
What?
this basically to heal her
Oh.
people, or she can use it to corrupt you. So, but you guys
That's-
killed all of her people, so she's really just using it offensively now.
Ooh.
But it backfires. As Rowena, you feel a strange innervation, but you're pretty sure that's not what the intended effect was, as her face contorts in a great deal of frustration. And it is your turn. You want to charge in, finish this thing off right now?
You got
Get
it.
up in there. Go get you
Go
some.
for it.
I mean, as long as I can hit it from where I am, I will stay at a distance because the benefit of
You-
quarterstaff. If I need to move up like 1, I will. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you still have to like kind of move up into melee with it, right?
Yeah. I will definitely be in melee with it. And then I will, that's right. I need to switch over my targeting. Okay, there we go.
Go for
So
it.
yes, I will move and
So
I will
flat
be
rolls
in.
too. So it's just your attack. There's a 0 on her modifier for protection and such.
Okay.
You got this.
Oh, sorry. You said something in a so it's versus just custom.
No, just versus
'Cause she doesn't-
defense. I'm just saying it's a flat roll.
Mhm.
It has no modifier.
Understood. Okay.
That's a hit.
That is so why. Wait, I attacked it. Sorry, I need to roll a d8 instead of I attacked it with dagger instead of quarterstaff. Let me roll a
Fair
d8.
enough.
Por favor, because that's
Okay.
my quarterstaff. I rolled a 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, worse damage.
I
she
know I
does
rolled a
have
3 with the
tiny
dagger
bit-
and a 2 with the d8.
The thing is like she does actually have a gown, and as you go to swing in, you think you're gonna hit her. She has some strange like tattered gown, and you swing and you think you hit, but instead you just hit this like hardened, tattered section, and you see it rip and shred, but it doesn't actually get all the way into her.
And I would totally say that like Marina like went up and like she's very disconcerted by this thing. And so I would imagine that her swing isn't necessarily as good as it could have been.
So top of the round, Madjac, it's your turn. You can see the priests at this point are starting to back away northward, away from this fight. And one of them, you might roll a cunning test. You might even know him. Give me a cunning test there, Madjac. As you're still up here, so you see this. I think everyone else has moved down.
Success.
You would know him as Father Elfino, one of the main kind of the chapter masters of the Temple of Prios here in Thistlehold, and you can see that he has like this glistening golden glow around him, like he's got some kind of protective aura. And you can see he's like flinging these rays back in the direction of this building. And you notice that he's not actually flinging at anything in particular, but he's flinging at the building itself. And you're starting to see like the structure, the roof is starting to cave. It's almost like he's trying to collapse the building because it looks like he's gotten his people out as he's backing away. You also notice that, and you've heard that there is one more of these creatures, and you can see that your allies are fighting down by the sort of the threshold of this building as well. What would you like to do?
So you see that the last bit of his wound heal over, and so he moves into he shifts his line of sight and moves so he can see this mystic, and he will fire.
Yeah. Go right ahead as you try to thread one over the shoulder of Rowena.
You got this.
And I'm assuming I don't have. I'm at the same altitude or same level
Same height
with this
now,
mystic.
I think. Yeah, just the way it was laid out.
Man, no.
It's just a tough shot as you fire, and like you're like she's framed by the door a bit. The building is kind of shaking and quaking a bit. Rowena's there swinging around. There's this tall Ambrian man that's kind of getting in your way either, and you're trying not to hit people who are potential allies, and it just gets stuck right in the frame of the door right next to her. And then we come to Gwydion.
Okay. So let's make the incredibly smart decision to get right in front of the face of this thing that does horrible corruption breath.
Absolutely. And I'll say again,
Good choice.
You can get into flanking with this thing for sure. I will say though, like you notice that the floor is starting to crumble. There's bodies both of humans and whatever the hell these things. You can see that there's just blood everywhere. There's some fire. The floor is crumbling and sinking beneath it. You get the sense that maybe there was some sort of stray tunnel from the sinkhole that came up through the cellar, and it's now kind of collapsing in. You still hear the thush, thush as this rush of holy light hits one side. And this thing's coming down, so it is kind of dangerous to be fighting here.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's why Code of Honor and Bloodlust are a great combo.
Okay, buddy.
There's
that.
no running from this nonsense. Here we
Nice.
go. We'll do 12.
12
Wow.
points is going to do. That is actually exactly enough to kill her, even with her damage reduction. Describe your kill.
He sees all that nonsense going on. Like, he gets tangled up a little bit with the staff, and it's like robe. It maybe turns slightly for the arrow, just enough to come in and basically just put the hammer right between the eyes. The skull caves in just a bit, and then with his boot, he kicks her back into the building that looks like it's going to collapse soon.
She falls down. You can see almost like an ant-lying funnel as everything is starting to funnel down into the cellar, into the rubble, and she gets caught up and grinded. The body does with some of the debris, and you feel the thudder of the rooftop of the walls start to come. I would like both Rowena and Gwydion to make quick tests to try to dodge out of the way of this thing collapsing in upon you.
Okay.
I'm going to take a +1 from the audience for this because I don't have much quick at all.
Atolia and Madjac, you are more than out of range. You're fine.
Oh, it's so close.
Okay.
Just.
I think
As it comes down, yeah. Both of you, as Gwydion, you turn, you leap and dive out of the way. Rowena, you spryly leap back as well, and this thing collapses in front of you. Gwydion, you get to the point where you're doing the classic right over the edge, about to fall, and you keep your balance. Maybe Rowena grabs you by the back of the shirt and just pulls you down. And you look around, and you see no more enemies for the first time in quite some time. Around you, you can notice that other fights nearby. You can see at this point, Euphrenda and Kulanon themselves, they are also kind of pushing back the last of the waves. You can see Marvello and the captain, the guard captain, some of the guards as well. As it does seem, like at least for now, you all have managed to hold off whatever assault has been coming out of this sinkhole. Okay. So,
Oh my gosh.
as the next few moments pass, like you guys have the time. What do you do in the wake of this?
Are there normal human bodies around?
Roll a vigilant test to see if you can find some bodies that aren't horrifically distorted.
not a weird question at all.
Right?
Look, I need arrows and I need money, like right now.
I need some food.
I'll say with a failed vigilance, if you're looking specifically for arrows, you'll be able to pluck a few out here and there. Take a D6 worth back that are functional and usable. There's plenty others that are broken, but you're able, we'll say, to get a D6 back. What else are you all doing as you're catching your breath, as you're taking stock? There are bodies and destruction everywhere.
What didn't the older gentleman, didn't he have like some horrible thing like shoved into his side?
Yeah, you can see hanging from his body, he's got like a partially severed arm, like from just above the elbow. It's stabbed into his side, and you can tell because remember the flesh grafts of these some of these creatures, like the hand, the wrist stabbed into him. So yeah, that's what you see.
And just like nudge Rian a little bit. I don't think that's supposed to be there. Hey, old timer! I tell you what, I will trade you some of whatever you're drinking for her to patch you up.
You have something? Oh goodness, this has all been very inconsiderate.
I know they ruined breakfast
to myself. He looks at you, and he looks at, oh goodness, and
you've got red on you.
No, I do indeed. And he plucks it out, and you see just a splurt of blood. Filthy things, and just throws it off to the side. He looks at you disgusted. Looks over at Rowena. Well done, little one. Well done. He's very big. He's kind of fairly towering. He's as big as probably Gwydion.
That's good. Look at the big one over there. She got that one too.
Yes. Well. Staff mage?
Hold still.
Quit your fussing. Not an invalid.
No 1 point of healing.
So he's like, I feel like I'm going to live forever. And he like looks around. He kind of picks up a few things, like maybe he's got like a sword on the ground. Maybe you can see him like a stein or a mug on the ground. He just lifts up. Pity. Dips it over, and well, so long. He kind of turns around and just starts walking away at that point. Okay.
We did something good here today.
Wait,
I don't care about any of the other assholes here. I'm glad that man's alive.
What? And Rowena's just like, Madjac, Atolia. Good to see that we all are still in one piece.
Not a scratch. Not a scratch.
They kept running at me for some fucking reason.
I think I should probably like lay down and take a nap. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
I'm feeling this.
In a safe place, though. I'm really not sure what a safe place is right now. I think we should ensure that the powers that be here have a plan for what should happen now.
I saw Father Alfino pulling back that way. Maybe we should go see what him and your teacher, what was their name? Eufrenda.
Eufrenda,
Yeah,
yes.
Mr. Eufrenda.
Yes.
Let's,
Master Eufrenda will have plans
Thaler for us?
what we should do.
Oh, that too. But I'd like the Thaler as well. So let's go see if maybe we can get paid for this job.
Madjac's got
Rowena's
it on
just sort
that.
looking around at the bodies. The safety and security of Thistlehold is probably of paramount concern, but perhaps
And
at the end
value.
of all of this, there might be.
I mean, I'm sure it's a paramount concern to them, which means they should pay us for providing it.
Absolutely. And so we go off in the direction that we kind of.
Yeah.
Madjac
Make sure to
saw
pick
them.
up that massive axe and hand it to you as your spoils.
So you pick it up, but I'll tell you this: as you lift it up, this is not the type of weapon I think either of you would ever want to be caught dead actually wielding. It's big and it probably would hurt, but you can tell this has been made by some sort of dark kind of sorcery of some kind. You can see it looks like bone grafts. You can see there's like right around where the handle is, like it looks like that hardened flesh that they had to kind of sturdy them. You might get some pretty horrifying looks should you try to carry that around much.
I don't want it, but you want to study some more.
I'm sorry, were you handing that to me?
Yeah, I thought you got your studies.
Oh, yes. Oh, and she'll sort of like look at one side, look at the other side. I do believe I have studied this enough to pass word along to others about it. And then she'll kind of drop it. And it was rather heavy, I believe.
No, that's probably the reason it didn't chop me in half.
My goodness, I'm so glad that you were not in two pieces. That you look a bit in pain.
I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to fill my belly. And today's going to be one of the best days in a long time.
And again, Rowena's just sort of looking around at all of the dead bodies. Okay. And
Yeah.
she walks forward.
We killed a lot of stuff today.
So you see that there is definitely a grouping of various folk. You see Kulanan, you see Eufrinda, Father Alfino off to the side. You can see he's sort of dealing with some of his priests. You can see that the Templars themselves are kind of going through. One of them, it looks like, has taken a wound, but they do seem to be alive, and they're kind of going through and doing final kills just to make sure some of these things are dead. When you arrive, like, Captain Marvello is giving orders like, you there, over there, and here, and barricade there, and there. No, further back, you nitwit. And he's just sort of directing people, and he's like, should any more of these beasts show themselves, we'll be ready this time. No one is allowed to pass. Do you hear that? No one. Do not let anyone pass. And so he's just kind of, you can tell he's starting to get various folks moved around, and you can see they're starting to consider putting up some barricades. They're piecing together, like, they need these wagons here and there, putting them to block like alleyways that leads towards the hole in the ground. You can see some of them are like running off to collect some supplies. Some of them are getting some attention medically. You can see like Father Alfino is like actively almost holding back like some of his priests. He's like, no. Follow the captain's orders. Follow the captain's orders. To ignore him is folly. If he says we are to stay behind the barricade, that is exactly what we shall do. And so, like, you can see they're all kind of talking to their various groups. And at a certain point, Rowena, you can definitely see, like, Eufrinda will march over in your direction. She sweat on her brow. And she looks at you, and you're covered in blood, and you kind of have a foul look. And she will say, well, you've survived. Good on you.
Yes, and I am so glad to see that you have survived as well, Master Eufrinda.
Were you under the impression I would not?
Absolutely not. I had no doubt in your skill. I do have
your next tutor would be more lenient with your studies would I fall?
Absolutely not. I would not benefit from such a decline in expected skill, of course. I do have some notes in case they would be useful.
Yes. I'm sure you do. Excellent. And you see, like, Kulan and the old man leans up and kind of whispers into her. I will tell her. You said you spoke with these witches, yes? You and your band of merry folk.
Yes, and
This
she'll
one.
relay. Yes.
And this one wants to be paid, and that one can't tell a master from a mistress. However,
I don't want your mistress.
But I do want to get paid.
yes.
A little bit of money wouldn't go too far.
Well,
In service. In service. We were all in service.
what say you, Marvello? Your dead guards over there, their wallets are not going to any use. Should we give them over to these mercenaries? And, like, Marvello kind of looks over at you, kind of like affronted, like, shouldn't. No. They have families and children, and they need to be taken care of.
Defending their town. You're not stealing from them.
Yeah, we can't
like
take
them to respect them.
We can't take Thaler off dead guards away from their families. We just want it out of the treasury.
Treasury. And he's like, treasury.
You know, the mayor takes what, 25, 30% off of everything that comes out of Darkovar. He's got to be sitting on a shit ton of thalers.
Well, I have much to discuss with Mayor Lightpitch. Or Nightpitch, excuse me. I don't know where my head is. I forgot his name. However, I will add your fee to the items that I will bring to his attention. And you hear like like one of the guards kind of comes up and he turns around, he starts barking some orders. And that's when you friend looks at you. Well, if you all are interested. And you kind of look, she looks over at Kulanan. We might have a proposal. If you're curious enough.
Yes, Master Euphriend, I do believe that we are all quite curious. Yes. And she's sort of looking to everyone.
Yes, you eager beaver. I know you will do anything I say. Jump. If I say to touch your nose and spin around in a circle, I'm sure you'll do it. I'm asking.
Rowena, would you touch your nose and spin around in a circle? Because that's something I would like to see.
And Rowena was really going to not touch her nose and turn around in a circle. And then she kind of looks at Madjac. Later.
All right.
Are you in?
Hey, I'm for hire. I'm a monster hunter for hire. So if you are talking about hiring me for a job, then I'm in.
Yeah, excellent. Well, first, you all have spoken with these witches outside the gates. They arrived at quite a curious time, did they not? I would like you to return to them. See if you can source out any additional information. Was this attack by these? And you can see that, like, she and Kulanan kind of exchange a look. Creatures. The end of our suffering or the beginning? No. What is very curious is the timing. They arrived right as the bell sounded, right as the beasts attacked. Could that just be... They are harbingers, certainly, but are they accomplices? Are they allies? What more do they know? Find out if you would. I will speak with the mayor, see if I might convince him to allow... Well, I'm sure very little convincing will be in order. There might be an expedition down into this sinkhole here. They might want us to see how far down it goes, what additional dangers might lie down there. You all seem like a capable lot. You'll be paid for services already rendered and services yet to come. What say you?
Now you're speaking my language. But I just got one quick question for you.
Yes.
That little eye dance you just had with your pal over there, when you were talking about the creatures, I think maybe you might have a little bit more information about them than we do. It might help us when we go talk to the barbarians if we got a better idea what it is we just dealt with.
Well, I was very curious that you mentioned barbarians. I see you have one amongst you. I'm surprised he has not recognized them. She turns over towards you, and Gwydion, make a cunning test, as now that the heat of battle is dying down, now that you're starting to see these things in greater light, make a cunning test. Let's see if Gwydion kind of puts two and two together. See if he's smart enough.
I don't know. You said something about like a death and rebirth cycle at some point, and the bells were the speaking. I don't know.
I see you're the pretty one, yes. Well, we've heard reports, you see, from some of the barbarian clans have faced creatures not unlike those that we see now before our feet. The Beast Clan, they call them creatures of the underworld. They have been raiding some, perhaps not his clan, but his kind. But yet here they are now, coming up from beneath the earth, from the underworld, into the streets of Thistlehold. This is far more
ambitious than some of the raids that we've heard before. Brutal. They kidnap folk, they slaughter folk. This is altogether something different. Now we've heard reports as well, testimony from some of these guards who, the captain assures me that they are not prone to hyperbole, but they did describe there was a creature that seemed to marshal them. A woman, wings hung from her back. She had jaws so strong she apparently tore the arm of a sergeant straight from its shoulder. But we don't see it here. Your other allies chased after it with some of Marvello's men. Perhaps they'll find it in some time. However, certainly possible. Sinkhole of this size retreated down into the darkness once more. So, that is what me and my compatriot shared with our glance. Very perceptive of you.
That's why they pay me, to keep my eyes open. I don't know about my friends here, but I like the kind of information you're putting down. So if you're throwing thalers at me to deal with this issue, you've got yourself a monster hunter.
Excellent.
And a little bit of equipment, no, for doing such jobs as going into a sinkhole.
Do we look like merchants? Do we look like leather crafters and weapon crafters? You're scholars.
Yep, a little
We are
bit.
wizards. We are neither of those things.
No. A pity, they make good money.
Money is not all. Anyhow,
Atolia, I'm sure we could find you some more arrows. We can refill you.
Probably,
Uh,
my
do you-
armor's not doing so well. I've got a lot of blood on it right now, too.
Oh yes, I can help with that. I can help you. I can help you. And then Arena will sort of go back and ask, so are there, and she kind of has her notebook out. Are there specific questions that you would like us to ask when we converse with the barbarians again? And so she'll sort of read back sort of the notes that she took, trying to see if we have like specific questions that Gwydion can interpret on their behalf.
the witches seem to have some sort of foresight. They knew danger faced the city. How? What more do they know? What more have they not yet told us?
Might I recommend, when we're not talking to you, sorry, might I recommend another stop on our way to the witches at some point when we're away from these?
Yeah, of course.
Master
we will.
Frinda.
We will take care of this.
I leave it in your capable hands. When you have something of value, some information that can help us, return to the chapter house and we will plan our expedition below. Yes?
Yes, Master Euphrinda.
Off with
Looking
you.
forward to it. Come on, let's go. Gwydion, you're still leaking a bunch of your insides on the outside. You're a dead mess, man. You're a dead mess.
That's
You know what's going to fix that up? We'll rub some dirt in it. We'll get a little bit of bacon and potato stew in you. You will
Oh
be
my
fine.
God. I haven't eaten since noon yesterday. I'm gonna find that fat fuck that ruined my breakfast, and I'm gonna break his face.
Well,
And that's gonna be how I end my day today, and it's gonna be glorious.
I got a bit of an idea. We have a witch, a master witch, and a barbarian we could talk to in town before talking to the barbarians and witches outside. At the Witch and Familiar, there is the barbarian Alomar, who's a friendly sort, Clan Zarek. And I have been training under Agdala when I annoy her enough for forcing her to teach me new spells.
For some additional healing, yes?
Do you have contacts? Do you have a contacts trait there, Atolia, that I don't know about?
Rowena has a contacts trait. So Rowena is that
No, but I just figure I pay them and or annoy them for stuff more than actual friends of or contacts with.
Right. I mean, you could go talk to them. The issue is like Agdala's, though, like she's within the town of Thistlehold. Like these two witches came specifically from Carvasti with word from the Huldra.
Yes.
So, like,
I was just wondering if she might know.
Well, she lives within Thistlehold, so she has like no direct access to the Huldra.
Fair enough.
Come on, Gwyddy, let's get out there. Let's talk to these witches, and then we'll get some stew.
You can limp your way out there, right?
I'm fine. I've been all nimbly bimbly all day. I know what I'm doing, and I know how to ask some questions. How did you know? What more do you know?
Yeah, exactly. What? Yes.
The way you were folding yourself around that axe, I mean, you look like an Ambrian fan dancer.
Oh, fuck you, Madjac. But yeah, better. They're losers.
And as we're walking, Marina's just taking a bunch of notes.
You can get food and rest if you wanted to. There's no reason.
Let's just get this done. Because once I get food and drink, I just want to be done. I don't want to have to kind of rest and have to get up and go do something else. Because I get the feeling this is going to be one of those things. So there's always going to be something else.
So you guys start pushing your way out of the rubble area, the affected area. You see people crying over bodies. You see bodies being thrown into the back of wagons, priests moving about, final prayers. You can see folks applying medical cures, casts of medicus and such here and there. The wailing of various folk. And you just kind of pass by one after the other. It's a very horrific sight when you see all of the destruction. Because it was literally a full block and a half or so of the city, multiple buildings, multiple people that have just been swept away. And then the onset, you start hearing stories of people passing, and you can see that some of the debris, some of these other buildings, they're a little bit further away from the sinkhole. You hear that same story that kind of happened around that the medical house, where they just kind of appeared in the cellar here and there, and you can see that they blocked some of those passages. They just collapsed buildings on top of them to ensure that those holes are plugged. So you see a lot of this as you pass by. The more northern sections of town, as you get back to Toad Square, by the slaughterhouse and such, seem to have there's no real damage. There's a kind of a broken window or so here or there from that huge boom when the well kind of went off. But aside from that, you don't really see any destruction. Once you get further and further away, it definitely seems to be localized within that one block and a half or so. When you get to the northern gates, you can tell that the guards are busy, and there is a lighter contingent here than there were in the past. You can see that some have just come back from the fighting, and they're covered in bandages. Some are bloodied, some are tired and wounded. But there's definitely fewer here than when you were last here. There's no crowd anymore. Getting out is not too difficult at this point. Passage is they're allowing people to come and go, so you're able to get on out, and it doesn't take you too long to explore the edge of the forest before you do hear the sound of some I would say some brush, some trees kind of swaying here and there. You hear the sound of some voices talking. And you see near the edge, from a distance, there is a camp. You see the familiar colossi that are off to the side and not directly by this large bonfire or campfire. You can see that they are almost inert, they're just kind of sitting there, barely moving, not eating, just kind of standing there. If you wonder for a moment, are they even awake? Are they even alert? Do they know what's going on? But they're hulking nonetheless, these massive creatures. They're not standing anymore. They've kind of depressed, but each one of them is a massive boulder unto itself. And then when you look into the center of this big camp, you can see the familiar kind of mask-wearing witches of Gadramon and his accompanying witch, and they're just sitting around the fire. And you can see one of them is just kind of tending, and they're just staring down into it. Whoever would like to can roll a vigilant test as you approach.
I'll go ahead and do it.
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Anyone's
I'm
welcome
not...
to do it. Yeah. It's going to be at -4.
I would still succeed. I got a 5 under 15.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Anybody else giving that a go?
Yes, and I have
Actually,
succeeded
I will just
even with a -4.
Yeah, I rolled it just because I didn't pass anyway without the -4.
the eye patch is facing just the wrong direction.
Did you accidentally put it over top of the good eye again?
Yeah.
You're like wiping. You're like, what? We get dark all of a sudden.
Oh God, where am I?
Moves it to the side. I'll say those of you who succeeded, you notice, like, while the witches are alone, a couple times as you approached, you certainly saw like Queen's Rangers moving about, kind of scouting here and there. And I'll say you also notice that as you approach the camp, like off in the woods, we'll say Madjac and Atolia, you do catch like this flash of like red hair, or like a red piece of fabric, and you see just like at a split second, the face of a woman who seems to be like lingering near the camp. Doesn't look like she's leaving the camp. It's just more like she's kind of lingering and looking around. And she locks eyes with Madjac for just a moment, and then you, Atolia, for just a moment, and then she kind of flips her hair and she starts disappearing off into the woods. If you would like, either of you who succeeded can roll a cunning +5 to see if you might know who that was. It might be recognizable to you. Okay, so Atolia, and let's see, and Madjac. Both of you, maybe at some point, if you hang out at Majira's agency, Madjac, if you hang out with other fortune hunters, you too likely have heard the name in the legend of a extremely successful explorer and fortune hunter by the name of Lysindra Goldengrasp. You know that. Honestly, she is like one of the most successful at venturing into Davokar and returning alive, but also with a certain amount of fortune. She was known. She kind of built up a reputation as kind of leading like Ambrian nobles and being, having her expeditions be paid. But in recent times has kind of turned away from treasure hunting. You no longer see her at the agency. But she does kind of briefly lock eyes with you before disappearing into the brush.
Well, I haven't seen Lysindra in forever.
What do you think, Madjac? Should we head to take a peek with her? Chew the gum?
And we could try to keep up with her and let them talk with the barbarians, as long as the Queen's Rangers don't get in our way.
I mean, Gideon did such a great job last time.
So we'll try to keep up with Lysindra.
Okay.
Try to track her.
All right. So then I'm gonna need from. Hang on. Let me pull up my sheet. Go ahead and make a. Where is it? I guess we'll just call it, honestly, just a vigilant to track her. With we'll say like a -7 to your roll. Holy crap.
She's good. But I am better.
Nice.
So,
Close,
the two of
but I am not as good.
The two of you move off and you follow. And at one point, there's a moment where you kind of like split off because you see like a flash of red over here, a flash of red over there. Both of you maybe take a different direction. Atolia, you close in, and as you get a little bit closer, you realize it's just like a piece of fabric like hanging from a branch. Whereas Madjac, you see her kind of moving and moving. And you also hear the sounds of like heavy set like footsteps. And you look off to the side, not by her, but you can see kind of maybe off to the east as she's heading further north into the woods. You can see a small contingent of Queen's Rangers kind of moving about, kind of scouting here and there. Very quiet. They're not talking, but you can hear, I'll say with your vigilance, you can hear them kind of coming up. And one of them will call out to you, "Ho there. What's your business, traveler?"
Aye, Ranger. We're on paid business from Eufrenda to talk to the barbarian witches who came to the gate. I was just tracking through the woods, thought I saw somebody from Mahira's agency out here. Must have been mistaken.
Eufrenda, you say?
Yeah.
Old Magica?
Yeah, and Father Alfino. Two of them asked us to come out here and have a conversation with the barbarians. One of my partners was one of the initial translators, trying to figure out what the hell happened in Thistlehold today.
Ah, Father Alfino. Sending you out on diplomatic missions with the witches. Curious times.
That they are.
You can see, like, they're kind of eyeing you at this point. And what's your name?
I'm Madjac Maekar. Monster hunter.
Oh, well. Monster hunter. I see.
Gotta make a living somehow.
Oh, indeed, I'm sure you do. Now is the time for monsters. I am sure you'll be swimming in Thaler soon enough.
From your lips to Rios's ears.
Yes. Curious times in Thistlehold. Many dangers today, many strange instances. Perhaps it's not too safe for a lone individual to be wandering so far afield with the protections of the palisade. For your own good, perhaps you should return.
Oh, I'm not alone out here. I'm just the only one you've seen.
Go ahead and make a persuasive. You have like a -3 on the modifier.
Can I take an audience dice to make that a -2, Melissa?
Absolutely, you can.
Let's keep our
I've marked
fingers
it down.
crossed here.
You got this.
I do have this.
You didn't even need it.
Well, we would expect nothing less. However, if you have business with the barbarians, the witches, camp is that way, not this way. I am sure if Master Eufrenda and Father Elfino sent you on this task, you best not dally with other issues.
Oh, I appreciate your concern. Queen's Rangers are always looking out for those of us on the other side of the palisade, and should I find you inside Thistlehold, I'd be happy to stand you a small beer, and I'll be headed back to that camp now. Good luck on your patrol.
Indeed. May Prio's light bless you. And she just kind of like walk away. And you get the sense that like they were just kind of eyeing you up and toying with you a little bit. They were definitely, that they weren't like going to threaten you, but you got the sense that they were really, really carefully keeping an eye on your words and such. I'll say with your vigilance, you do notice, like as you turn to go around, you do notice that for a moment, that red bit of hair was kind of like up in a tree, staring down, kind of watching that exchange, and then kind of disappears once more. Like that whole sequence, she was kind of keeping an eye on you as you did it.
I just give her the little half salute and turn my back and head back to camp.
Okay. Back at camp, Atolia, she got lost. So Kip's just going to make a new character. No, but Atolia eventually you make it back.
Walks into a rage troll on the trail. And
Where'd this come from?
Oh no.
It's just a random cloud of corruption. She just walks through and it's like, oh, well, that's it.
Oh, I'm already injured and high on corruption.
So Rowena, Gwydion, you make it back. We'll say you make it to the camp first, then Atolia will eventually come in as the conversation starts, and then Madjac will come in towards the end. But the two of you approach. You hear one of the witches that you recognize the voice, Gwydion. It was definitely the same voice that you spoke with out in front of the gates. You see them. Greetings. You look very worse for wear.
Yeah. So the fucking well-talked, the first asshole was too slow trying to talk to the second asshole. So we didn't get a chance to come back to talk to you until we had to kill a bunch of other assholes.
And Rowena's like elbowing Gwydion, and she doesn't understand, but she's just sort of watching as he's talking, and she's like got her book out, and she's just like elbowing and like pointing and she's just like giving you this like pleading, she's like,
and so her people, the ones with other fancy books and that bullshit, they want us to go climbing down into that goddamn well where all this, stuff that you said was going to happen happened.
Barbarian. He kind of looks at you. Okay, let me get my voice. Hang on. Saxons and Danes. Barbarian. I can't go with it. Saxons and Danes. I am Bulric, son of Bulric. Okay. Not quite there yet. That's how I get into the voice sometimes. I have to get a couple of phrases. And it's like, I see. I am sure you fought very bravely. Are you under the impression that the Huldre's foresight was not going to be accurate? It is quite a shocking revelation for one such as you. Do you not believe in the Huldre's wisdom?
I do. I just don't always understand it. So, if I'm being honest, hey, that's not the thing that I'm great at. I didn't understand the whole well is going to talk thing. So, seeing that they want us to now go down into where all that bullshit came from, I beg you to shine your wisdom upon us to help us understand. Maybe, is there a way you can tell us how you knew, or maybe you know more, especially if we have to go down into worse things, or is there something that we could understand about what it is? I don't know.
I see. First, tell us what it is that you saw. What it was that came up from this.
Oh,
they
just
kind of look at each
all
other.
this god-awful, dark, goopy bullshit. Some of them were kind of like people, but they like crawled around like little animals. Some of them were stockier. There's this big 8-foot tall motherfucker that had his skin, like you stabbed it, like it bled on you and the blood burned you, and they could like change all that darkness into like knives and stuff. There was this one woman with horns, and she breathed out like black smoke, and just, it was awful.
Yes, indeed. It sounds like you had quite an adventure today. But you have lived through it. Sounds as well that you are describing perhaps creatures we know as Beast Clan. I'm surprised you are surprised about this. You yourself are one of the barbarian people. Have you spent so much time within the walls of this plunderer's town that you have forgotten what it is to be out in the forest, out in the world?
I have been stuck in this town a lot longer than I want to be, yes.
You are too busy contending with various bar brawls and pickpockets, and not yet returning to nature.
Okay, I am a giant fuck up. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah, I did not say that.
Okay. Yeah, no, you didn't. You didn't. That's just how I'm feeling.
I see. Because that is what is of utmost concern right now. How you
how I'm feeling.
are feeling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is not a threat of great corruption. and perhaps the birth of a powerful abomination currently on our doorstep. But your feelings. What is your name, barbarian?
My name is Gwydion Forrester. And I know my feelings don't matter here.
I see. You asked us how we knew. I told you how we know. The Hodria letter had a foresight.
Okay.
3 days
Got it.
prior to our arrival, she woke up from a dream site, raving. She said that the dying god will bring forth the black. She said that the night drowns the plunderer's town. Not exaltation, but the fall. And that the town would fall deep down into the abyss. And it sounds as though the abyss has opened up beneath you.
I'm going to try and repeat that to her.
Yeah. And you would know, Gwydion, that the plunderer's town is like common parlance that barbarians and witches and stuff kind of throw in the direction of Thistlehold.
Yeah.
He says it to you. That is how we know.
So yeah. Dream, all that stuff.
Oh, okay. So that's how they knew, and that was the prophecy, as it were, that came.
I'll say at this point, Atolia comes in.
Oh, there you are.
I lost her. Oh no, that's Jeff's accent.
This is not my accent. What is wrong with you?
Many things.
Sexy Santines, living together, cats and dogs.
Oh no.
I don't know where the other one is. Oh, okay. So is there anything else? Gwydion, is there anything else that Huldra might have additionally shared in her prophecy?
Is there anything else Hudra's amazing wisdom might bless us with, or anything you might know in case there are some good souls that are going to go just right into the middle of all that wretched corruption?
So, Gwydion, something would probably strike you as you're making the translation. Gadramon said that a dying god will bring forth the black. Now, to Rowena, to Ambrians, god means one thing. But you would know that basically to barbarians, the word god has kind of like a different meaning. Like for you, as you're struggling with the translation, you would probably say spirit or forest warden, and not necessarily, it's not like Prios necessarily, it's a different thing. It's like the things that perhaps roam Davokar in certain places. And so that might strike you. And as you ask that question, Gadramon will kind of like straighten up and says the source of corruption must be found, neutralized. It is good that you have defended your town. However, unless this source is found, if it falls into the wrong hands, it can be used for very horrible deeds. And if everything in the Hudra's dream comes true, and there is no reason for you nor I to think it will not, then the birth of a very powerful abomination is at hand. Now that will no doubt consume your town. You can tell he's kind of like taunting you a bit when he says your town. But once done, it will be a source of evil and danger for far more than those who would live within those walls. Now,
okay,
what it is,
so
I do not know.
Okay, so no big deal. We just have to go deep underneath the town. There's some you say God, we might think almost like some nature spirit. Maybe there used to be a bunch of brambles or some nonsense that protected the nature area around here. I don't know. And it's like it's turned bad the way that goop turned those other people bad. But that makes it like, if those people are like this sized asshole, that's like a giant gaping asshole if it corrupts it, right? And then this whole place is gone.
Do you say that to Rowena or do you say it to Gadramon?
That's to Rowena.
Okay.
Yeah, it's translation coming back. Something that affects Thistlehold then affects is a danger to the area at large.
Oh,
not
yeah.
just
Like,
to Thistlehold, yes?
it'll probably come bubbling up and it'll be so much worse than all that. So it's kind of like, like if there was an infection, we've got to go down to the core of the infection, cut it out.
Say at this point,
yes, and
Madjac returns.
oh well, wow, you have returned. So, given that they came here, did they came here out of a neighborly concern for us, or so that if there was something to fight, that we would combine forces to do such a thing?
Yes. Probably a bit of both. What's bad for us is bad for them. Like if this place becomes like some sort of pit of evil, it's gonna,
Gwydion, I think Rowena's asking you to ask them if they brought us anything that can help us deal with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. I was just wondering. They came here and they stayed here, and I was wondering if they had something to share or offer or what Madjac said.
Yeah. So my friends are like so much smarter than I am. You came here clearly prepared to try and deal with all this. Do you know of any tips or tricks we can use when dealing with it? Or maybe do you have any special equipment or knowledge that could be used in the fight against them?
We offered our assistance. We were denied. And we await now permission to enter the town.
Okay.
And until we are given it, we cannot enter. Should we be given it, then perhaps we could lend aid.
Perfect.
Until then, we wait. You are not the only one from your Thistlehold who has paid us a visit.
Oh, yeah.
What are they saying, Gwydion?
Oh, so there's other people that came poking their noses around here, apparently. And in general, basically, they'll go in and they'll help once they get permission.
Who else has been out here talking to them?
Is it other people from the town actually talking to you guys, or is it just the assholes that are roaming around, circling around you?
And like the other one who's been quiet this whole time, you can hear like a little chuckle from her. But Gadramon speaks. He's like, it was a young woman. She came and spoke with us. She bore the glow of your... And she kind of points over towards you, Rowena, your Ambrian god. Right, no longer. Seems her faith perhaps is dimmed. She was very nervous. No, anxious. Yes. Felt as though she was concerned. She aimed to befriend us. What a curious time it is. She even called us wise. And again, you hear like a chuckle from like beneath this like completely emotionless mask from the other witch who's just kind of poking at the fire. And Adea, she called herself. She said that she believes, as we do, that nature is not evil, but that it is humans who bring evil to nature. And in this, at least, she is right. Like you. She asked for foresight. She asked for aid. And we told her, as we told you, of the Hodra Yeleta's dream sites, and of the night that will drown your city. But the aid she asked, we could not give. For we are here. And the cult that she says brings that night to drown your city is in there. And he points, and he's pointing at Thistlehold. And then she left for the Queen's Rangers was scouting, and she wanted not to be seen. She seemed to be very anxious. She wanted our help. Uprooting those that she thinks might be, well, responsible. But we are here. Your captain, your mayor will not let us in. Perhaps you should find her, and you should give her aid.
That sounds like a great plan. I'll turn around and share all that. Especially interested about Adea and the concern of like potential cultists.
Ask him if the Adea said what this cult was that she thought was responsible for it. If it had a name, particular uniform, a look, a mark.
These assholes that do the whole darkness thing, do they have like a mark, a name, anything like that?
No, I do not believe so.
Okay.
So she didn't identify the cult at all by name. She just said she thinks a cult's responsible for it.
Yes. I'll assume you translated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, son of a bitch.
We told her a name within your walls that she could visit and perhaps find more useful assistance than the Ambrian. Perhaps you know of the place. The Adovaka are strangely named. We told to speak with Verima, for she is one of yours, is she not?
Okay. Well, I suppose that's where we should start.
Well, if they are seeking entrance into the city, then we need to go back and we need to speak with Asfiu Frenda, and we need to share that information so that they can get permission to go inside. Yes, so that they can provide assistance. That is what they came for.
Well, maybe we can. Sorry, Gwendolyn. Rydian. You got me doing it now, Anatolia.
Thank
God
you.
damn it.
Thank you.
I was saying maybe we could split our efforts. We could go talk to this contact about this cult, and Rowena, you could talk to your master about trying to get the barbarian dignitaries into Thistleholds and provide some assistance.
Smart. Always split the party.
Always split the party.
Always split the party.
Yes, I would agree. I will definitely go back inside. Gwydion, would you want to come back inside and then you can get some rest? If you were to go wandering out, that could be quite dangerous for you in your state. Yes.
I think this contact's inside of Thistlehold too. I mean, we're all going back in, but
yeah, you guys would know. Like, there is a tavern. It would actually probably be just west of the sinkhole. In fact, called Adovakar, which is also like the name for like the lighter part of Devakar. But it's actually one of the businesses within Thistlehold that's actually owned by a barbarian.
Well, I do hope that survived the sinkhole and everything. We should definitely make haste to go back and check on that then.
Let's do it.
Agree.
Thank you. And thank you very, very much. Respectfully, thank you very much for your offer of aid to Thistlehold. And she elbows Gideon.
So thank you so much for everything you did, despite the fact that a bunch of ignorant assholes kept you from actually being able to do anything. But you were here, you shared your information, you're beautiful, wonderful people. Thank you.
And Madjac bows in the manner of an elf, and in Elvish says, "Thank you for your assistance. We shall see what we can do to stop this abomination."
You hear the other voice speak back.
Should you need aid, should you need help, we will be here. I think your large friend is not that wise, but you seem to have wisdom. Perhaps you will not be consumed after all.
Gatramond and I have a wager. I would hate to lose.
And I would hate to see you lose. We shall return.
So you hear that little exchange. And Gatramond says, good day. Good luck. Goodbye.
Farewell.
And so we'll see you all turn, leave, venture back towards Thistlehold, and we'll go ahead and we'll end it there for tonight.
Hooray.
Okay, guys. All right.
Not dead yet.
Look
That
at
was
you
fun.
guys.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody died. It was awesome.
Nobody died.
No one died.
We got close. We got some corruption. We got
Well,
some
by the way, that
hits
temporary
to toughness.
corruption would have faded by now.
Yeah, okay,
As
I
well.
was about to
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah. It's been enough.
End of the
between you
scene.
moving about. and- yeah. Yep.
I was really nervous when that guy got 2 axe swings.
I was too.
I was like, oh
Right?
god, oh no.
The
Yeah.
return is less damage, but yeah, but the weapon,
Still.
because it's a heavy weapon, actually ignores armor. So if it would have hit you, all of it's going through. So that's the fun
Oh.
stuff. It wouldn't have one-shot you,
It's,
but
I love that it's just continuously a step worse than I expected.
you didn't get hit though, so you're good to go.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Wonderful.
All right, that is it for us for tonight. Why don't we go ahead and get to some goes and plugs? We've gone over. We got to get the hell out of here. We'll start with Aaron. Aaron, tell us about what's going on over on Garblag.
Next week, Tuesday, nothing as far as I'm aware. On Wednesday will be the finale of our Marvel Multiverse Cataclysm of Kang Season 1. And then come back the following Wednesday, we're going to be starting our Warhammer Wednesday back up with a new Warhammer 4E campaign. On Thursday, you can check Ben out, who is running Season 3 of our Dune campaign. So give it a shot.
Very nice, very nice. Jeremy, you've got a Patreon.
It's true. Aaron Reese on Patreon. There's comics, maps, tokens, fun stuff. Check it out.
Perfect. As for us here, our next games tomorrow night. Aaron, speaking of Warhammer, what are we doing?
We're going to be back with some more Wrath and Glory. We're in playing through the Litanies of Lost, and they are in the Dark Biddings adventure. So this should close out the Dark Biddings adventure. I haven't been able to kill anybody yet, so keep your fingers crossed for me.
We did radically screw it up, though, so that's fun.
That is true. That is true.
Oh, that's right. We did.
Whoops.
We made choices.
Screwed it up. It's kind of my fault because I think I was the one who made the recommendation, but I really think it's your guys' fault for listening to the guy who has a fellowship of one. What are you doing listening? He's got no
Sure,
leadership skills. Why are you
He's
listening
just
to him?
running around in some MC Hammer pants. I mean,
That's all I
come
do.
on.
That's all I do. I'm shirtless. I show my pecs to the people. I have no eyes, but I have pecs. What else we got going on? Saturday, we got some Call of Cthulhu. I'm thinking it's probably the finale of Los Angeles, to be honest. Where we left off last week, I think we're probably going to finish up Los Angeles. Now that I said that, we probably won't, but that's the plan. Monday, you can catch Jeremy, Melissa, and myself. We're playing through some Fragged Empire. If you want to come back for that. Tuesday, you can see the Top Bro and Melissa we're playing Perils and Princesses. Is that right? Is that right, Hipster?
That is correct.
And we get to see Princess Erin.
I'm a
excited.
pretty princess.
Aaron has promised that if you throw out enough bits, he'll put a tiara on.
He has not done that.
Definitely has. All right. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for those of you who are watching this later on YouTube, on VOD, or listening to this on the podcast feed. We'll be back next Thursday with more Symbaroum. If you haven't already checked out the YouTube page, Adventures in Lollygagging, please do give us a subscribe over there. If you haven't checked out the Twitch page and gave us a follow, that would be great as well. We're going to go ahead and we're going to raid Insomnia Night RPG. Also, thank you to Lost Caravan RPG and the Rebel Pilot for your raids tonight. Really do appreciate it. So we're going to pay it forward. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.